Hey everybody, happy Chris Mahana Kwanzaa to you all, near and far. Thanks once again for tuning in. That's a little Christmas cheer for you there. Jingle Bell Jazz. What I wanted to talk about with this little lesson here is a formula that I heard on another YouTuber's channel, a guy named Jeff Schneider. I think he's a keyboard player, but he does a lot of things on neo soul and jazz and gospel chord progressions. And he's got a chord lesson program. He's got a chord course called Sick Chords, I believe. And I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm sure it's great. He had this one video out here not too long ago where he had a formula. He said the formula for advanced jazz, gospel, and neo soul chord progressions. So if you're going to want to go look that up, that's where I got this idea from. So basically his formula is this. If X is the melody note and Y is the chord tone, then what chord could it be? And you notice he didn't say what chord would it be, but what chord could it be? So this is all about experimentation and just looking for cool new chords. So if X is the melody note, let's take Jingle Bells, for instance. And so on and so on. You get a real simple melodies are the best thing to practice this with, actually. He uses Row, Row, Row Your Boat for his example. If X is the melody note, in other words, first three melody notes of Jingle Bells in the key of C are E, the major third. If X is the melody note, in other words, if E or E, you can play E open, or I'm playing the B string 5th fret. If that's the melody note, and Y is the chord tone, and the Y is the chord tone is the important part. So ordinarily, without substituting these chords, if you're just playing the standard chords, so in the standard version of Jingle Bells, you have the one chord, or the C chord, which in the third is the melody note for most of that, and then to the 4 chord or an F chord, back to the C chord, and then maybe on your G chord, your 5 chord. So, but the whole point of this exercise is to come up with some alternate or substitute chords. And we're going to really go overboard with it just to get the point across. And in the real world, you wouldn't use the different chord probably for every melody note. But so if E is the melody note, then and Y is the chord tone. So the point is you can just pick any chord tone you want to. So what I've done here in my particular rendition of Jingle Bells is instead of making the E melody note the major third, as is in the standard version, I said, well, okay, just pick something, pick anything. So I said, okay, what about a minor third? So that would take us to a C sharp minor, because E is the minor third of C sharp minor. It's a major third in C major, but go up 1/2 step and that becomes a minor third in whatever that is, which is C sharp. And so I'm using a C sharp minor, and for the first 6 notes, I'd use first 3 notes, I stay there. So next I said, okay, well, what about my second 3 set of E notes. I think I want that to be a sharp 5. And what that takes us to is an A flat or G sharp 7 of some sort. So far I have. And then so next, I'm going to use more chords here, so I decided to go. If you'll notice what I'm doing there, I'm using a different chord basically for each melody note. So this, I went from the A flat sharp 5 to a B flat 7 flat 5. And then for that G note, I thought, well, I think I'd like that to be a 9. So that puts us in F, right? So then I went to you go back to a C note, right, which is the tonic in the key of C. So we have that, and we have F9. So then I went to an A minor 7 with that C on top. Then an A flat 7 flat 5, because the D is the melody note there. Then back to the E note, I just walk that down to a G7 or a G13, where the E note is the 6th or the 13th of that G7 note. So there I have a right? Now we're going to this part of the melody. What I'm going to do here from this G7 or G13 chord is I'm going to walk that bass down, come up here to on the F note now. I'm going to use this, make it a flat 9, which F is a flat 9 in an E chord, right? So put a flat 7 in there for a E7 flat 9 chord. Then I go down, same melody note on top, the F note, but now it's the 9, not the flat note, the 9 in an E flat chord. Then walk it down one more fret to the D minor 7, and it's the minor 3rd. So there I have one more F note. So I jump down here to the A flat 13. And that gets us back to the same melody note over an A minor 7, which would make it an A minor 11. Then I'm walking that down to an A flat 7 sharp 5, G 13, F sharp 7. E is the same melody note the whole time. So we have one more E note on the melody. I'm going here to an F major 7, hooking my thumb over there for the bass note and getting the E open string for the melody on top. Then we go to the D for the melody. I go to a B minor 7, you know. And see, at this point, I really had forgotten about his formula, and I'm like, oh, okay, what kind of cool chords can I get around here? If you get, you know, you practice it enough, you don't really have to think, well, I want it to be this. But you can really come up with some interesting chords you would never think of if you just pick a chord tone out of the blue, though. So here I thought, okay, well, the major 7, I want that to be a major 7 tone, that E note. And that, I said, okay, well, on that D note, I think I'll go to make that a minor 3rd, which would make that a B minor 7, right? And then originally I was just staying there and going to an E7, but I thought, well, it'd be cool if I walk that down. Since there's 2 D melody notes there, I make it the major 3rd here, the minor 3rd on a B minor 7, then walk down to that B flat major 7, so it's a minor 7, and then it's a major 7. Then I just hit the E open. Then I go to a D. Then I go to an E dominant 7 with that flat 7 D note as the melody note on top for my chord tone. I want the flat 7 there. Then for the second half, and I'm just doing the verses of Jingle Bells here, guys. I'm not doing the chorus. Maybe next year. So next time, instead of starting with C sharp minor 7, this time I'm starting with a 5th on top, which makes that an A minor. So A minor 7, which is the relative of C major, right? So 3 times there, and then Then I'm going up and keeping that bar at my 5th fret on the A minor 7, but I'm making it a, you can call this a C7 with a flat 7 in the bass, right? Okay, so after that C over B flat, I'm going up there and grabbing some, oh, you know what, I missed something, guys. So after that D on top of that E7, E dominant 7 chord, I'm actually going up there and sliding an octave on the D, little D string and the B string. And of course, when you do that, you mute the G string in between to get the hey note there. And then I'm going to the A minor 7. 5th on top is the chord tone. Make it a major 3rd on top. That puts a C over a B flat in the bass. Then we go to, I thought, okay, let's make that E's this time a major 7 note. Then we go up to the G for the melody note. E sharp 9. Then you go down to C as a melody note. And I thought, well, how about A flat 7 over the 5 tone, which is a E flat in the bass. So I have then goes up to that D on top, the melody does. So I thought, let's make that the major 3rd this time. And I like this, I really love this form of a 13 chord. You could do it. You could do that 13 chord right there, B flat at the 6th fret, or that would be the E formation. I mean, and you're talking about Cage, that would be E13 there, right? I mean, sorry, B flat 13, E formation. But I really like the G formation, where you just have basically, you know, like down here, but you bring it up and you've got, it's a G form instead of the E form B flat 13. It's a G form B flat 13. So then I go into this D9 and make that top melody note a 9 once again. Then I'm going up here and doing kind of a, I think I missed one thing again. I know what I did. Sorry, guys. So after the A flat 7 with the 5th chord down on top, and I went to the C over the B flat, I did a little octave slide lick up here on the D and the B strings, sliding to that A note, G note, then on the A and the G strings, an octave slide from the E to the D before I go into this F major 7. And coming out of that B flat 13, I hit this D9 here. Then I'm sliding up that old 6th lick. Then to take it home, guys, right here I'm doing a D minor 7 with this. It's kind of the, so it's kind of like got the. It's a combination between your C formation and your A formation in Cage. So 1 chord per melody note here. So D minor 7. Then I'm just sliding that bass note on the A string back to that from the 5th to the 4th fret. So I have, and that takes us to D flat major 7. So with this chord, the melody note is an F, right? So I said, okay, let's make that a minor 3rd. So that F is the minor 3rd in D minor, so that's the chord. That's the chord it could be. Then if I slide that back, then that makes that F note a major 3rd. So we have a, and it keeps that melody note on top. And I thought, okay, let's make it a 9. So that'd be a E flat 9 chord, because F is a 9 and an E flat chord. And I'm just putting the 3rd in the bass here. Then I'll slide that bass back again, just like I did from the D minor to the D flat major. Come up here to the E flat 9, 3rd in the bass, slide that down, and that makes the top note a major 7 chord tone in an F sharp major 7. So I go from the E flat 9 to to an F major 7. Then I come down here to a C sus or C11 chord. It's really just a sus because I don't have your 7 and 9 there. So instead of the third on top, I'm using that F for the is the melody note, right? And so I'm making it a 4th or 11th chord tone, and I'm putting the 5th in the bass. Then I'm walking that bar kind of down, and here I'm actually bringing my pinky over and barring. Here I'm barring the D and the just like a C chord with an A formation, but I'm putting the 5th in the bass on that E string, the G note. Then I'm playing the 4th up there with my pinky. But when I slide it down a fret, I'm playing 2 notes, 2 strings with my pinky now. And that makes that basically a D9 chord, with the melody being the chord tone of a 9 and a D9 with an F sharp with a 3rd in the bass. And then I keep walking it down, make the melody now as a major 7 and an F major 7 chord, a tonic and an E minor 7 chord. Then we go up to this G on the end. I go to a C9, making it a 5th. Now my chord tone is a 5th, right? And then for the next chord, I said, let's make it a flat 7. G is the flat 7 of an A chord. So I go from C9 to A7. Then for those last 3, I'm using I thought, well, let's make this first one a minor 3rd. Actually, I changed something up. See, I think what I actually did, but that actually changes the melody up from the Jingle Bells melody. I forgot about that. So I was, so there we could just do after your A7, you could do the D minor 7 with the minor 3rd as a chord tone. Then that's actually a flat 9. So it'd be a G7 flat 9 with the 5th on top. The 5th is the chord tone for the final one there. And then I just got extremely traditional and ended with a regular old C chord. So that's it. That's my little chord substitution using Jeff Schneider's formula for advanced jazz, gospel, neo-soul chord progressions. And his stuff sounds a lot more neo-soul and gospel than what I just did. Mine leans heavily towards the jazz, but I'm going to try to come up with some more that do sound more gospel-y, because I really love the gospel music, man. I grew up in Memphis listening to that stuff, and cats like Ray Charles and Aretha Franklin that grew up singing gospel are some of my favorite artists in the world, all-time singers. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful holiday. And before I let you go here, I have a little special guest wanted to say hi. Everybody say hi to Scarlett. Oh, say I didn't want to be woke up. I was having such a good nap. What you gonna wake me up for? She has lots of Christmas presents waiting on her. And she's bringing us joy as well as everybody else around here. So you guys all have a wonderful holiday, and we'll see you after the first of the year. Take care. Merry Christmas. Say Merry Christmas, Scarlett. Merry Christmas. Give me a kiss.